Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to another broadcast of WHEI News Center 10, live at 5.
Tonight's program is brought to you by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
News Center 10, live at 5 is your number one campus source for bringing you the latest around the state, around Tiffin, and around the Berg.
Be sure to stay tuned in tonight for our social spotlight as we check the pulse of Berg students and find out what they're thinking about on the hottest topics.
Coming up, the Ohio Harvest is off schedule.
And also, Heidelberg will be hosting an interfaith Thanksgiving service.
In social, we check out today's top trends.
And we'll have the latest Berg sports updates.
Don't touch that remote.
WHEI News Center 10, live at 5, starts now.
Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to WHEI News Center 10, live at 5 for Thursday, November 20th, 2014. I'm Dan Klish.
And I'm Bailey Mabin. Let's get to our first story of the night.
According to WTWL, 2 men were wounded in separate shootings overnight in the Cincinnati area. Around 11 p.m., Darren Morrison, age 36, crashed his car near Boonina and Queen City Avenues. First responders discovered the man had a gunshot wound. Morrison said he had been trying to drive to the nearby Mercy Health campus when he crashed. Police determined that Morrison had been shot while in his car near Lafayette Circle. About an hour later, a man walking in the 2500 block of Harrison Avenue was robbed and shot at least once. That victim's name has not been released.
The first heavy snowfall in Ohio has put harvest already behind schedule after an already difficult growing season due to last winter's brutal cold. Heavy snowfall blanketed much of the state before 1/5 of the state's corn crop could be harvested, the Dayton Daily News reported. The winter conditions mean farmers might have to work into December to complete harvests that may yield less than normal. Farmers are considered to be running behind when they're still harvesting after Thanksgiving, said Bill Wilkins, president of the Miami County Farm Bureau. Farmers could face a loss of yield from the winter weather. Wilkins said soybean pods are at risk of opening due to cold temperatures, and the weight of the snow can cause corn stalks to. Police officers have begun investigating a shooting after receiving several calls regarding gunshots being fired in Columbus, Ohio. Columbus police began receiving calls around 1:30 Thursday morning. Officers responded to the scene of the crime and found 39-year-old William Grizzard lying in the snow with multiple gunshot wounds. Grizzard has been transported to the Ohio State University Medical Wexner Center in critical condition. He is suspected to have drove away from the scene in a black pickup truck. However, no witnesses have come forward.
Today, a Columbus couple were notified that their son-in-law was involved in a terrorist attack in Jerusalem. The couple, Enoch and Rochelle Millen, received a call that their son-in-law was in a West Jerusalem synagogue when 2 Palestinian men entered and began shooting. While Rabbi Alan Talansky was unharmed in the attack, he was close enough to hear the gunshots. 3 Israeli-American rabbis and 1 Israeli-British rabbi were killed, along with an Israeli police officer. The couple state that they have been in contact with their family, but they stress the growing problem and the tragedy within it. That wraps up our local news segment for today.
But don't go anywhere because we'll have your biggest campus stories on the other side of these short messages.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. And I'm Brianna. And you're watching WHEI TV 10. Have fun! Woo!
Student programming from the Media Communication Center, University.
What are you doing, dear?
My finances. Every week I divide my allowance, some to spend,
some to charity. But the first thing I do is set aside 10% to save.
That's awfully grown up. Did you learn that in school?
No, Dad taught me. He said if you want something tomorrow, you have to save today. Dad's saving for retirement. I'm saving for a new bike.
Choose to save. To learn how to get started, get your free Power to Choose brochure.
He's a smart man, your father.
My husband says social drinking relaxes him, but he's not very relaxed when he comes home at night. He's always ready to pick a fight. I don't think he's an alcoholic, even though I think he drinks too much. My psychiatrist suggested I try Al-Anon family groups. I was surprised at how quickly I found help at Al-Anon. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group meeting from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanon-familygroups.org.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back to News Center 10, live at 5.
Let's get started on our Heidelberg Campus News segment. Tonight, Heidelberg will host an interfaith Thanksgiving service at 7 p.m. in Herbster Chapel. The service will include music provided by Cynthia Ramsdell and Ainsley Sherman, and readings given by Hannah Long-Higgins, Christine Reinhart, and Paul Stark. Everyone is encouraged to attend and bring canned foods or other non-perishable food items that will be donated to the Salvation Army and to the Fish Food Pantry.
Heidelberg will host its 23rd annual Tuba Christmas on Sunday, November 30th. The event is free and open to the public. All area players are welcome to register and perform. Registration begins at 2 p.m. and rehearsal begins at 3 p.m. The performance will then begin at 6 p.m. Registration, rehearsal, and performance will take place in Old Concert Hall in Brenneman.
Join BEC for a trip to the Columbus Zoo to see the lights. BEC will be traveling to the zoo on November 22nd from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. for an evening of Christmas lights and decorations. Register by November 20th tonight to reserve your spot. The cost is $5.
Have you ever been to the Columbus Zoo lights?
No, I have not. I've always intended to go because I've been here for a long time, but I just haven't had the opportunity to go yet.
Oh, well, it's definitely something I recommend.
All right. That's all we have for Heidelberg's campus news today. We will get into the latest stories from the social media world next.
News Center 10, live at 5. We'll be right back.
I'm Coach Hartzell. You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Small businesses, I believe,
help weave people and communities together.
I believe in the American dream.
SCORE is a nonprofit organization where we provide free business consulting services to people who want to start a business already in business.
I believe one person can make a difference.
I am that person.
I am that person.
I am a SCORE mentor.
I am a SCORE volunteer.
What do you believe?
Do you have a gift to share?
Our client success is our success.
Volunteer your
Moving day! Are you ready to move? Walk, cheer, yay! Dance, stretch, laugh, and shout. Whatever it takes to beat Parkinson's.
Let's defeat Parkinson's.
Remember, people who move change the world. It's a new day for Parkinson's. Make your move today.
Hello and welcome to our Social Spotlight segment. Let's check out what's trending in the world of social media. NBC has scrapped a Bill Cosby comedy that was under development by TV Land and will stop airing reruns of The Cosby Show. These moves happened yesterday when another woman came forward claiming that the once beloved comic had sexually assaulted her. The allegations that were widely reported a decade ago, as well as new accusations, have damaged the Cosby's reputation. The 77-year-old comic has now been accused of sexually assaulting 14 different women. He has continued working as a stand-up comic and has at least 35 performances scheduled throughout 2015. According to New York Daily, Cosby will not be canceling any appearances while these accusations are further investigated. In the music world, he may not have started the fire, but Billy Joel sure seems to be fanning it. The music legacy has recently been honored by the Library of Congress for his songs New York State of Mind, Allentown, Piano Man, and numerous other hits. Joel received the Gershwin Prize for Popular Songs, a Lifetime Achievement Award. The 65-year-old performer celebrated with a concert near the White House. Other big names performing at the concert included Tony Bennett, Gavin DeGraw, LeAnn Rimes, Boyz II Men, and many other entertainers. The legendary concert will be broadcasted January 2nd on PBS stations. Last week, WHEI reporter Scott Carpenter had the special opportunity of interviewing 2012 Olympic gold medal winning gymnast Gabby Douglas. Let's check out the full scoop.
We all remember the 2012 Olympics in London, and one of the stars of that was Gabby Douglas, who became the first woman of color to win the Olympic all-around in gymnastics. And now she is training here in Westerville, Ohio at Buckeye Gymnastics. First of all, what has life been like since the 2012 Olympics?
Oh my goodness, life has just totally been just amazing, crazy. I've been getting to do a lot of amazing opportunities like red carpets and charity events, so it's all been so much fun.
Yeah, we saw you were all over every sort of talk show. Everybody wanted to talk to you. What was that like going to all that attention all of a sudden?
Oh my gosh, I just took it in and I was just wow, this is so amazing experience for me, and it was kind of a lot, but I just dealt with it as I could.
Mm-hmm. And you took it very well. And before all of this success, what inspired you to be a gymnast?
Actually, my older sister encouraged my mom to put me in gymnastics. So my oldest sister, I had to give it to her.
Okay, and was it your older sister, did she do gymnastics?
Yeah, she was also a gymnast.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And what has it been like? You make that, you've had now a Nike sponsorship, and you've declared pro. What has that transition been like to the professional level?
It's been amazing, and I have really good sponsors behind my back, and it's kind of different because the level of intensity of gymnastics that I do, and also appearances, has just been different than an average gymnast.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you're here in Buckeye, and Westerville is so glad to have you. What attracted you to Buckeye and the coaching staff?
I'm here in Buckeye, and I just have to say I really love it here, and I was put in a situation where I had to relocate and find another coach, and I saw that Kittia had a really good, strong program, so my mom contacted one of the coaches that actually goes here, and he trained me in LA, so I was like, let's not try it out. Let's try it out.
Absolutely, and it's been working well so far?
It has. Oh my gosh, everyone's just been so amazing, welcoming, and I'm just in a happy place right now.
That's awesome. And Buckeye Gymnastics is in northeast of Columbus, and it's where I was born and raised, and it's a city that's very important to me. And what has your experience in Westerville been like so far outside of the gym?
Oh my gosh, it's been so cool. It's so cute, and I love it here.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you been to Grader's Ice Cream yet?
I haven't. I've been to Jenny's though.
Okay.
Jenny's is really good.
So you're getting some Westerville culture in you.
As Gabby Douglas seeks more success in the sport of gymnastics, she has now turned to coach Kitty Carpenter, who has a decorated career in the sport of gymnastics as not only a national championship and a full scholarship recipient to Arizona State University, but also a brevet judge in which she says can only help her in the coaching of Olympic gold medalist Gabby Douglas.
You to continue your gymnastics career with coaching?
Well, I almost didn't, but when I moved to Ohio, I decided to contact one person, tell him my background, and that's how I ended up continuing. And I ended up switching from part-time to full-time, and I have a passion for it, and kind of stuck with me.
Yeah, and not only that, but you've expanded in gymnastics. You're now a brevet judge, top 25 judge in the country, and how does that add to your coaching experience?
Knowledge that it takes to be a high-level judge. Brevet judge is an international judge, So the experience that it takes to have that knowledge really helps with your coaching also.
Right. And what you look forward to is now you got Gabby Douglas at the gym. And what do you look forward now having Gabby and Nia both coached under you?
I look forward to some happy moments, trying to create memories because they're great gymnasts and I hope to bring them really far.
Right, and Gabby, obviously, the 2012 Olympic attention, and has there been a bit of added pressure to being now titled as Gabby's coach?
I would say yes, definite pressure. Marta wants to see her back on top, so she definitely pushes me to make sure that we're accomplishing everything that she has set for her to make and prepare her so that she can be ready in the spring for competitions internationally.
And under intense pressure on the greatest stage in the 2012 Olympics, Gabby Douglas shines. Although she looks forward to international events in the 2016 Olympics, she looks back on just how she did so well in the 2012 Olympics.
When the pressure is on, all the lights turn on, the Olympics, so you competed under the huge pressure. What they always say, great athletes tune it all out, and it's just what they practice, what they prepared for. You're preparing here at Buckeye for all that. How do you do it in that situation?
Oh my gosh, it's literally so true. I was watching like this video that I was doing, and I was like competing, and it was on YouTube, and there was music playing in the background. I'm like, what? There was music playing? Like, I don't remember. You literally just like block it out, and you're just like really in this bubble, in the zone. And I feel like we train that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hear that all the time. Is I'm a golfer. Tiger Woods, he says that he kind of like the same effect blacks out in his own bubble over the shot, and so you experience something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And you work with Nia Dennis now, and she said the same thing earlier about how some days it's going to be a little rougher and you got to work through it. But what has your relationship with Nia been like?
We hate each other. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. Gosh, we're like best friends. We just on the same page like constantly every single day we are, and she's just such a great friend, and I love her. Like being like a teammate with her, I'm like, yes, thank you, Lord.
Yeah. And we interviewed her earlier, and her responses were so cute and short, and she was saying, or I asked her about, you are 18, you have the pleasure of having a car. She's a bit younger, she can't drive a car yet, and she loves going on around the town with you.
Oh yeah. We have fun experiences.
And what do you guys do when you go out?
We just like to hang out, chill, eat.
Now, exercise for Buckeye, Nia Dennis.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, how are you?
I am doing great. And first question for you is, you started gymnastics at a very young age. What inspired you to be a gymnast?
I think being able to flip around and do all these cool tricks would really try it out.
That's a good answer. I wish I could flip around and do the cool tricks. Next question, what is the biggest challenge you faced as a gymnast?
Having those hard days when you are tired and don't feel like doing it, being able to push through it and keep going.
So just the grind and keep, even when things are tough, just keep practicing and keep going at it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is your favorite event?
My favorite event is vault.
I saw that, and you have such power off the vault. Would you consider that the area you excel the most in?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Your power amazed me off the vault, so very well done. You've had a very decorated competition past at a very young age. You're just 14 now. What would you consider your greatest accomplishment this far?
Competing for Team USA in Canada and coming in second all around.
In the Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was very well done in that event. And when you're not training, what do you do in your free time?
Dance, paint my nails, and cook.
Okay, so what do you dance to?
Well, I play just dance a lot. And just make up stuff too.
Okay, and then what do you cook?
Breakfast. It's my favorite meal. So.
Oh, you and I both. I could eat breakfast anytime.
It couldn't be more dramatic. The women's all-around comes down to one last routine. And it's a Gabby gold!
We saw this in an earlier interview. I want you to finish the sentence. I'll see if you have the same answer. Gabby Douglas is...
Awesome. Amazing.
There we go. Amazing.
Word.
Well, Gabby, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's all we have for our Social Spotlight segment. Let's send it back over to the desk with Bailey and Dan.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
You know, I don't know that much about Gabby Douglas, but she seems really sweet.
She is pretty sweet. I actually got to go down and meet her, and I did some of the filming for Scotty's segment there.
Oh, really? Really?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I used to train at Buckeye Gymnastics actually when I was a kid. So
Nice.
I mean.
So by transitive property, you've trained with Gabby Douglas.
No.
It's time to throw it over to Ellie to take a look at today's top sports stories.
The Heidelberg University men's basketball team continued their hot start to the season last night, eclipsing the century mark in points and setting a new school record for steals in the process, defeating Westminster College by a final score of 103-89. Freshman James Hanley, point leader with 22, Marquise Taylor had 6 assists. The Berg caused 32 turnovers for Westminster. Heidelberg moved to 2-0 with the win and will be back on the court this weekend when they travel to Bethany, West Virginia. The non-conference matchup is scheduled to tip off at 3 p.m. on Saturday, November 22nd. Also happening this weekend, the wrestling squad will be off to the Olivet Duels at Olivet, Michigan on Saturday. They'll take on Olivet, Alma, Wisconsin Whitewater, and Trine. The women's cross country's Allie Bloom will race at Kings Island in the NCAA Division III Championships. And on Tuesday, November 25th at 7:30 p.m., the women's basketball team will host Bluffton. That's all we have for your Heidelberg Sports Report. And because today is our last broadcast of the semester, you can find the Heidelberg sports schedules at athletics.heidelberg.edu. Now send it back to Dan and Bailey.
Thanks, Allie.
So yeah, it being the end of the semester, we will not be covering any more sports stories for the remainder of the semester. But I personally would like to wish all of our athletes over Thanksgiving break and Christmas break a good luck. Mm-hmm. When we return, a whole new meaning to the Hunger Games.
Watching WHEI on TV10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
When you're finished with your food or beverage cartons, toss it in the recycling bin. Because every carton is recyclable and can be turned into useful paper products. Put your carton in the bin with your other recyclables and let them start a new life. When the contents are gone, let the carton live on. Recycle your cartons. When you're finished with your food or beverage cartons, toss it in the recycling bin. Because every carton is recyclable and can be turned into useful paper products. Put your carton in the bin with your other recyclables and let them start a new life. When the contents are gone, let the carton live on. Recycle your cartons.
You could choose to join a gang. You could try the latest drugs. You could even choose to drop out of school. You can try to avoid the difficulties in life with a quick fix, or you can face them head on. She did. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Welcome back.
Now it's time to get to our final story of the evening. Xbox One owners can now order pizza by yelling "Feed me" at their TVs.
Microsoft has agreed for a deal that allows for an app which allows users to order takeout while playing video games.
A pizza menu is launched by shouting commands at the screen thanks to the console's Kinect voice and motion sensors.
Without pausing the game, players use the remote or gesture to the screen to select toppings.
The order then registers with the nearest Domino's and can be tracked on screen. I think that's a pretty neat idea that they have there, but at the same time, it's kind of lazy.
Well, I mean, we should have that here at the news where we just shout it at the camera.
That would be so beneficial, actually, because then that way we wouldn't have to walk in the cold to go get dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching WHEI News Center 10 live at 5. Our program tonight was produced and presented by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Thanks for joining us for tonight's program and for all the support this semester, as today is our last broadcast of January.
I am Dan Klisch.
And I'm Bailey Mabin.
And for Allie and Elizabeth and all of the WHEI production crew, we'll see you next time.